Hi, I'm rickdior, and this is part 2 of my match grip series. So today we're going to go over some exercises to build strength in your hands when you play the match grip. So in the first video I showed you how I hold the sticks, how I use my fingers, how to relax the shoulders and all that. So today we're going to go through some exercises to work on these things. Now if you've watched my other traditional grip videos, we're going to be doing a lot of the same things that I do there, but in the match grip. We'll also be taking an in-depth look at my book, Let's Go Camping, which is basically a book I wrote to develop both grips, matched and traditional, using pieces like the 3 camps, variations on that, hand exercises, and some rhythms, which I will show you today how I apply those to building strength. The sticks I'll be using today will be 75-gram heavy Leopardwood. This is heartwood, so it's the center of the tree. It's a very substantial stick, and I use this when I warm up and also to build strength and make sure that I'm, nice and relaxed in my arms, and my fingers are going to be doing a lot of the work today, as you'll see. So the first thing you want to remember from that first video is to always remain relaxed in your shoulders. And if you doubt that, you can put your head down and put your shoulders relaxed and just do that reset position that I always talk about. And then bring the sticks up. And then just keep that feeling of that relaxation throughout all of these exercises. So if you have the book, turn to page 37. And if you do not, I'll put it on the screen here. And the first thing I usually warm up with are these hand exercises. All my private students out there are very familiar with this. But I'll do this pyramid exercise, which is basically 4 counts on each hand at 100. So each count gets 4 strokes. So I'll show you that. 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on, all the way up to 12. Now you'll notice there I'm using lots and lots of fingers, a little bit of wrist, but mostly fingers. And when I warm up, I am concentrating on warming up my fingers. Since the way I play, it's probably about 80% fingers all the time. Not really a lot of arm as far as playing snare drum. So you see there it's mostly wrist and fingers. You'll also notice I do a kind of clinch with my fingers. Hopefully this camera will capture that. So I'm dropping my wrist and then reinforcing the second bounce with my fingers. Now another good exercise you can use is just do 2 strokes that are bounced and then use your fingers for the last stroke. So 3 strokes total. All right, so you want to concentrate on building that left hand. That's going to be the tough part, because that's, again, your weak hand if you're a righty. And if you're a lefty, the right hand's going to be the weak hand, usually. So once I do that first exercise there, the pyramid, for a while, I'll start at, maybe 90. That was 100 you heard there. And then I'll do it 3 times. And then the last time I'll do it at like maybe 106. And it's important that you subdivide the metronome on 16ths, kind of make it disappear so you're playing even. All right, and so by that point, maybe 15 minutes, I'm warmed up. And again, I'm using a heavy stick here. And then I'll switch to a lighter stick. Same wood, but it's lighter. It's about 70 grams, maybe 65 to 70 grams. But we'll keep the heavier sticks for now, because most of these exercises I'm going to show you I use for warm-ups from time to time. And I like to vary my routine so I don't get bored. So every day I'll do something a little different. But I'll use this book. Sometimes I'll use the Wilcoxon Wrist and Finger Control. Sometimes Joe Morello's Master Studies. I kind of have these books in rotation. But a lot of times I'll just do, 3-cam stuff like that. So my next logical step after that is going to be going to these rhythm pages. And the first one starts on page 48. That I use, and you can use all of them. There's many, many of these, but today we'll just use page 48 and 49. So again, I've done this in my other videos, but I'll show you it again. I'll take 16th notes, so in other words, I'll subdivide the metronome on 16ths, and then I will play these rhythms as accents. Now when I do these accents, I'm not doing a stiff wrist, so you don't want to do this. When I do these accents, I'm doing a bounce accent, which is this. So while that may look similar both ways, they are not. It's a completely different feeling. The bounce accent is I am not using a stiff wrist. I'm just letting that stick bounce. So I am using my wrist, but it's not stiff. So I'm not doing this. I'm letting the stick bounce up. That's extremely important. So many players play stiff like this. And that's a marcato, staccato sound. It doesn't work for much. A legato sound is much more musical. The drum sounds better, cymbals sound way better, and your hands will last longer. So if you want to play until ripe old age, this is the way you want to play. So try concentrating on bouncing these accents. So I'll just play a few lines for you here on page 48. We'll do it at 110. 1, 2, 3, 4. So once again, I'm using these heavy sticks, so I'm using the weight of the stick to get the accent instead of using my wrist and forcing it. It's a very relaxed way to play. Use the stick. Follow the stick. Don't force the stick. So after I do that, I might change that single note to diddles. So instead of one note as an accent, I'll do two, and that sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you see there are two on each, and I'm bouncing that, and I'm reinforcing it with my fingers. Now you notice, as I said in the first video of this series, I'm not sticking my fingers out, okay? I'm not grabbing the stick like a club. You'll see a space here always. That's extremely important. If you look down and you're closed up like this, then there's nowhere for the stick to go. You need to open your hands up, especially if you have smaller hands like I do. You need space in there to operate. All right, so after that, I would do buzzes, okay? And we can slow it down a little here, say 100. And each note I'm going to buzz. This is a different kind of stroke. Now you're pushing into the head and releasing. So it's a completely different stroke. And there, at the end, you keep these three fingers together, but they're going to come off the stick. All right, so. But they don't fly out like that. That creates tension. They stay there, but you let that stick move. So we'll play a little of this for you. buzzed, so all the rhythms that are written are buzzed, but I'm also still playing 16ths. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then after that, after the buzzes, I'll probably normally move on to page 49 and do the same thing. So the one thing I do want to play for you on page 49, these are 2-note groupings. I want to play the diddle exercise for you because that's a little complicated. So let me show you how that sounds. We'll do that a little quicker. Let's say 106. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so here you have to put the brakes on. That's the hard part. So you have to stop that diddle, and you have these 4 in a row. But once again, it shouldn't come from the shoulders. It should come from the wrists and the fingers. And using a heavier stick, that really helps. It puts some weight on there. A lighter stick, obviously, is going to be easier on your hands a little bit. And we'll go even a little faster now to 120. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, now here I am starting to use a little bit, just a little bit of forearms, not shoulders, forearms. And that helps because the speed is such that you have to compensate to get it clean, use a little bit of forearms. But again, it's not that motion, it's a lifting motion. All right, so back to these sticks. Now let's get into some trickier exercises here with these. If you go back to page 48, there's a way to do this with triplets. So I use 2 stickings. I use a right, left, left, and a right, right, left. So what you're going to do is you're going to put the metronome on 200 or so, subdivide triplets, and then you're going to play this sticking. See here on the screen, I'm going to show you how I break this down into triplets. Basically, every 16th note rest equals 2 16th note triplets. All right, so I'll play this for you, just a few lines of this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so not real difficult, but you do have to understand how to phrase this in triplets. But again, those 2 stickings, right, left, left, and right, right, left. And that sounds great on the drum set. Great for big band drumming. You can catch any figure like that and do your best Buddy Rich impression there. The final way I want to show you today, and be aware there's many, many ways. I have like probably 30 ways I do this with my students. But these are the ones that are most beneficial for chops, for technique, all right? I'll do this in paradiddles. So in other words, I'll play paradiddles. And then I'll play the written notes as accents. And this is a little bit difficult, but once you do the first 3 or 4 lines, it's not so bad. So we'll do this at 120. We'll put back the 16th subdivision. And I'll play a little of this for you. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's a great exercise. If you can do that, you can put an accent anywhere because of that paradiddle, the perfect rudiment or sticking, right, left, left, right, left, left. Those accents can be on the double or the singles or anything like that. So that's a good, really good one. And you go through all the pages like that. You can use the Louis Bellson rhythm books. You can use Gary Chester's New Breed books. They also have a lot of rhythms in there. You can use syncopation, although that's written in eighth and quarter notes. But yeah, you can do it that way as well. Then after that, what I recommend doing is going through these 3 camps exercises, all of them. So I'll play the first 3 camps just to show you how that looks. Match grip. You can see all these online on YouTube. I've actually recorded every single one of them, but I am playing traditional on those. So let's say we do this, let's say 140 is a good tempo. And this is a triplet subdivision. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so, I'll do it faster, I'll do it slower. The main thing is to keep it even, those doubles, and to keep your hands relaxed. Keep saying it over and over again. You don't want to use your shoulders, you don't want to hold the sticks tight. So do it as slow as you need to. To get it even, okay? Also, use the weight of the stick. That's why I like using a heavier stick for this, so you're not using your arm. Get used to following that stick, and a heavy stick helps you do that. And then I'll proceed with all of the different exercises. The next one's paradiddles. And so on. All right, so the book is pretty basic in the concept. You don't need to be a great reader. To do these, you just need to know the stickings. Now, when you play on the drum set, okay, with the match grip, I'll use both grips. I'll do a lot of different Latin things for a cross rim or a cross stick. That takes a match grip kind of mentality doing that. So doing that thing, I did a whole video on that recently. The match grip helps with that. So if you traditional players out there, I would definitely suggest learning the match grip. You match grip players out there, I would definitely suggest learning the traditional grip. Both these grips complement each other. They're good for different things, and it's a great idea to try to master both. You'll find that if you're a traditional grip player and you learn to play match grip well, that will benefit your traditional grip. And if you play match grip and you learn traditional grip the right way, it's a harder grip to learn, certainly, but if you learn that, that will definitely help your match grip. That was the way it was for me, and it's the way it is for a lot of my students, or all of my students, who do that thing as well. So I hope you got a lot out of this video, and we'll see you next time.